Support LaneSide. Get something cool. All right, guys, here we are on the lanes with our speed dominant / rev challenge player, old guy Wayne Porter.
And he's bowling a high friction house shot.
And, well, we've got something brand new here, a snapshot of the future.
Sure.
Yeah, that was terrible. We have the brand new cover core ball nameplate. It's a whole new thing. It's even a whole new category. It's part of the super symmetricals.
The super symmetrics.
This is the radical snapshot. So tell me about it here.
It has the new super symmetric snapshot core.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the evolution of like the katana and the no doubt and all this stuff.
It keeps evolving and tweaking and adjusting.
Neat.
It's cool. And it's got the HK22 C plus Pearl reactive cover stock.
Yeah, it's got some length.
I was gonna say
It's
got that one.
Yeah. What's
the surface preps? 500, 1,000, 1,500, and compound, just like we see on most of the Pearl balls that we've been coming out.
The crazy thing was Wayne didn't move up his benchmark there.
Yeah, he just threw it out wider, didn't he?
Just threw it out wider.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this ball is about.
Yeah.
Radical wanted to create a ball that kind of filled a hole in the market, okay? Because these super symmetricals are a bridge between the symmetrical balls that we know and the bigger asymmetrical balls that we've seen often. So sometimes you get the balls, they roll forward too quickly.
Yeah.
Because, when you start with an 018 differential and then you blow it up and you get 030, 020, you have the chance of just running out of gas.
Yeah.
It's like putting the floor, the pedal to the metal and then burn out.
Yeah. You get your foot on the brake at the same time.
Well, these new super symmetricals kind of bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the layout sheet, they can create anything from an 014 up to an 018 intermediate diff, but the actual diff of the ball doesn't move that much.
No, we're talking like -3 to like a +6.
Yeah.
Like off its...
Which means for guys like Wayne here, where the ball, he's got lower speed or lower rev, and the ball just kind of runs out of juice.
Yeah.
This ball doesn't.
This is a great symmetric option for the speed dominant players, because you're constantly saying that they don't generally throw the symmetrics, right?
That's correct. This is, if you actually look at the short pin layout at 047, 014, that's really in benchmark range.
Yeah.
You could put some surface on this, and you could throw this, if you're on a high friction house shot, this could almost be the first ball out of a senior player's hands. Because look at this. He isn't moving that much. He's moved into the oil a little bit more.
But you can see, the ball makes the shape and then settles like an asymmetric.
Yep.
But it's... at the same time, very continuous.
That is the benefit of that shorter hook phase that we create with these super symmetricals.
Yeah.
Now, normal symmetricals, when we drill them, we'll see a little bit of asymmetry.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you put... Ooh, look at that. When you put finger holes in
you're changing the core, and really, it's no longer symmetric. We've had many discussions about this with many people.
So they are focusing on what happens after you put those holes in, and specifically how it affects how the ball is going to roll down lane.
Yeah.
Here we are with the bonus. We use this in every one of our videos, something like this, either a bonus or a rattler, or every company has something quite like this, so that you can compare it yourself.
And so that was a true symmetrical.
Yes, absolutely.
You can see the shape on it. Now compare it to this one.
Now look, he gets it out wider. It's more angular.
Yeah.
You can see the angularity because of that HK22 C plus Pearl cover.
Yeah.
This is one of the most angular covers they've ever made.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I remember the Black Ridiculous. Do you remember that with the pink lettering?
Yes. Yeah.
Look at this. You can see it gets out quite a bit farther. His feet aren't that much far apart.
He just has more room to miss outside.
Way more room.
Yeah.
That Black Ridiculous, I think it was everybody's favorite ball.
Yeah.
This thing outhooks it.
Yes.
That's silly.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? If you think about it, that core, that ridiculous core, led to other cores, part of the evolution, so on and so forth.
That's, I think that's like the grandpappy.
Yeah.
Right, of these super symmetrics. This is kind of...
So let's see here. We're going to have the bonus versus the snapshot. Let's watch where his feet finish here. His feet are a couple of boards apart, but the difference is about 5 boards.
And you can see how much, like you said, it went out further, and then it comes back higher.
Oh, yeah.
And hits higher on the thing, so he's got a higher strike potential because it's like crossing the proper spots.
We talk about it every time with our speed dominant players. The more that we can open the pocket up, the more angle of entry, the better chance they have to carry out those corner pins. And we saw that with them.
Yeah, for sure.
So now that we've seen this, we're going to have to take it to, of course, the incomparable Scoops here. And you can see we haven't done anything crazy with his layout here. We wanted to reflect, what most people are going to throw here. At 4.5 inches pin to pap. Look at that thing hook. Yeah. 4.5 inches pin to pap and 35-degree val angle. We know it's going to be fairly high flare.
Yeah.
It's going to be fairly fast response. But here's where that super symmetrical comes in, because we have it at 50-degree drill angle. Drill angles matter because this is now an asymmetrical ball.
Yeah.
So we've been able to change that distance that we created for you. And we've created where
it's 2 in Brooklyn,
because we went with 55 degrees for Wayne, and you could see it was a very long shape for him. For you, because you have more rev and a little bit more side rotation, you can see now this thing is a hook monster.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to make a zone change here, because I don't think there's any way that you could strike from there. I mean, I don't even think you can get across the lane. This thing is so fast response. So look.
Still, see how high that was.
Yeah.
Like, it came off the spot so hard.
It is crazy how high this thing carries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's partly because of the dynamic core.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, this core is pretty big, too. So
it is a pretty big core.
And dynamic core is just awesome.
And for those who've asked before, we've actually gotten a few questions. Why does dynamic core hit better? Here you are. We've moved you again. And you can see... Still high on the
headpin, but it's carrying.
Yep.
So.
Things like dynamic core, these filler materials, they used to be a very light material, and you would lose that coefficient of restitution of energy.
Yeah.
So they came up with this stuff that went in the middle, and it's basically like having only urethane all the way through, but they don't have to pay for all that urethane.
Yeah. It's just overall denser material.
Yep.
Like the particle size inside is tighter, right?
It's just it allows energy to go differently.
Yeah.
Dude, look at this. We moved you still high on the head pin. We just keep moving you a little bit.
Yeah.
You just three.
Once I got in there, that's
Oh yeah, no,
which is crazy for a pearl ball for me, like
because you don't like them.
No.
Which is weird because this actually is a real pearl ball.
Yeah, they're not.
This is a secret pearl additive package. Look at how that comes off the spot.
So
you can I love watching it the left-handed because you can really see.
Yeah.
So here we are with the bonus. Here's yours, and we didn't go with the strongest hooking one because we didn't want to
really show.
Well, because people have said sometimes we take the end of it, or the one that hooked the most, and that's not a true comparison.
No.
We always try to take the middle as best as we can. But even with the middle strike with this ball, after having to move you, look at the difference with your feet here.
Yeah.
We are
5 boards,
8,
yeah, and it out wider.
That's a
goes
huge
down longer
difference,
and still hit higher on the headband.
All right, watch this again in slow motion because the difference in motion. Watch the length of the hook phase.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see it start to spin up there, and it comes off, and you can see it snap like an asim, but started up and at a shorter hook phase.
Yeah, like it started rolling sooner, like you would expect a symmetric to do, and then it just, as soon as it flips, it's like, okay, now I'm an asymmetric. Look at me.
It's crazy. Yeah. Now here you are blurry.
There you go.
And you can see.
Yeah.
Ooh, look, there's that 7.5 pin.
That was a good strike.
It was a really good strike. Just watch the motion on this ball. This is, as we said, it's something that's supposed to bridge. It's not as big as, say, like the katana, the full-out katana with the flip block. It's not supposed to have that really short hook zone.
Yeah.
But it's still supposed to be more than a symmetric. And we really have been missing this from Radical for a bit.
Yeah.
Watch this one more time. God, I love watching this. You are so in sync when you throw your shots. It's so easy to watch the overlay.
Yeah, you can see it just
beautiful.
Yeah.
Now then.
Now for the fun.
Here's the part that nobody ever pays attention to, because nobody cares about the two-hander, right? Nobody cares about the two-hander.
He's going to throw strikes.
Well, I am. That's the thing.
Yeah. Did
So
you see that pickup? That was like 35, 36 feet.
Yeah, you can see here, 4.5 inch. I went 70 by 4.5 by 37. It's fairly fast response, fairly high flaring.
Yeah.
But I did put a little bit of distance on it because we know the drill angle matters.
Yes, yeah. Well, and like you said, your speed and your rev rate
are very out of out of sync.
And I mean that's why you're the high rev bowler, right?
That's right.
So
right out of the box, looking at the finish on this, I knew it was going to be pretty fast response. Yeah. We've seen a lot of these HK22 balls. You see that one roll forward?
Yeah. Wow.
This is one of those ones where I just tried to stay under it and throw it at the 10 pin. We've seen that surface preparation plus compound on a lot of these pro ones. It seems to be the one that really, out of the box, has them jumping.
Yeah.
I could use a little less jump because of my speed. If I had more speed, this would be amazing. Yeah. I think the only thing I would do different on this is take it to maybe hit it with a 3000 pad and then put compound back on top of it again.
You put the compound back on?
Yeah. All I want is an extra 3 feet.
Yeah.
Because watch, every time I miss, if I get around it and I get a little bit of extra friction,
there she goes.
It reads at the exact same spot. And all I want is just 3 extra feet.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean, at least you're getting strikes.
Well, that's... You said it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like if it hits the head pin, it looks like it's going to strike. Like, we haven't seen too many not, right? So
we've talked about this before. In the 90s, they talked about the pocket of the 90s.
Yeah.
Because the new resin balls created so much angle of entry that it was actually better to hit Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because you could get better pin carry on the old pins. And it's what it feels like when I'm throwing this. It doesn't feel like, no matter how high on the head pin it is, it feels like it carries.
It carries, yeah.
Look at this.
This one, how far that one out. That was like half the head pin.
Yeah.
And it still finished.
Through the pins, yeah.
Through the pins, yeah. It the whole motion reminds me down lane of us playing up the boards in the 90s. If you just watch from 40 feet on,
it's the same motion.
That's the same. We're getting. It's just you got to get it there a little different now. But
and isn't that the way the sport changes, right?
Well, yeah.
It's the same shot, just getting there different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to make another move here. Just to give you an idea, I've already made a 10-board move.
Oh, you really came around that one.
You see that?
Oh, but it still carries.
It
still carries.
That's what I'm talking about.
Woo!
So you could see that when I got way around, and that red before it got to the hash mark.
Yeah. It's that's
angle of entry,
right? You're throwing it, and it has that symmetric characteristic, and then when it gets to friction, it does the flip, and then all of a sudden, like we talked about earlier, it becomes asymmetric. So it doesn't that. If that was a real symmetric, it would have been 4-pin, 7-pin, right?
Well, you could see what fell last. I think that what was it? The 10-pin took it, the 5 and the 8.
Yeah, that's better.
Nope.
Still didn't get it out far.
No, it still carried.
But it still carried.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
This ball reminds me so much of the 90s.
Yeah.
Just because of the way it reacts down lane.
Yeah.
Exactly like you said. No matter what I do to this ball, as long as I can get it on somewhere near the head pin, is going to carry. Yeah. I'm going to make one more move.
One more?
Desperately. I've thrown one? No, 2 good ones. 2 good ones.
Yeah.
2 good ones. Come on.
But you got to get it out right now with the way you're playing on this shot. You got to get it wider.
Fastest response cover stock.
Oh.
You see that?
You lofted it.
Bouncing it on between the 7th and 8th arrow. It still got out there and
got
struck.
Out to the 5 and came back. You definitely have to give it the room. I think that's the thing.
Fastest response cover stock Radical has ever had.
I can't disagree with that for sure. That was a good one.
That was an actual good one.
Yeah.
I don't know who threw it. It wasn't me. So here I am with my Rattler. Like we said earlier, we use a ball similar to this because of those core characteristics. Every company has something similar. Yeah. And you can see Even with my low ball speed, it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, that was birdie.
That's why I love this ball. I threw it one-handed. I got one for two-handed.
Yeah.
We've gone through so many. I mean, we talk about the Intel, the bonus. All of these balls are so close together. This ball is not close together.
Well, that was pretty good.
Watch it in the slow motion, though.
I was going to say, that's...
When I first... Because this is the middle. I didn't take the huge strike.
Yeah.
I took it in the middle. Watch when it... Just watch the
position?
The hook zone. See, I'm inside, I'm outside, and then you see how short that hook zone was.
It just jumped and then went down that little bit further and made the move. And
so it turned a 3 or 4 board inside into a 3 or 4 board outside.
Yeah. And
then ended up still in the same place, finishing at the same time.
Yeah. You can see way different now. Like.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
It almost jumps forward as it gets into the last part of the lane.
And I think that's where that super symmetric stuff comes into effect. Like I said, the front part of the lane, it acts like a symmetric.
Yep.
And the back, it's like asymmetric. It's so crazy.
So here we are one last time in the slow motion. Watch it. Starts inside, outside.
Boom.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
That is... Heesh. No, here's in slow motion.
Oh, this one's in slow motion.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, no.
I know I'm slow, but... All right, here we go. Watch it from the inside here again. So inside, and I have to actually add some loft to that as well to get it to project. So I'm going to say like 5 to 8, maybe 10
easy.
That's more.
That's a long distance.
It's a huge distance. And an insane ball. So is this a good picture? Do we say cheese?
Yes.
Very cheese. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, guys, we'll see you laneside.